Hey, what's up, guys? It's Film Geek here, and I'm doing this week's stack kind of topless because I'm already like ready for bed and just in my PJs, and I don't really give a crap. This stack includes movies I own, movies I rented from Redbox, and movies I got from my brand spanking new Netflix account. So first up, VHS of Rain Man, the 1988 winner of the Best Picture at the Oscars. This movie was pretty good. Had a very cool story. Dustin Hoffman was phenomenal in it. Unfortunately, Tom Cruise not so much. And the lead female, not so much at all. She kind of sucked. But Dustin Hoffman really makes this movie, and it's got some heart to it. While Tom Cruise is not all that great of an actor in it, his character has a fantastic arc. And so I give this movie a 3 out of 5. Next up, The Chaos Experiment. This movie was filmed in Michigan, which is the only reason I bothered to get it. It stars Val Kilmer, and frankly, it sucks some serious balls. He basically plays a guy who locks a handful of people in a sauna, and they go nuts and turn on each other. The editing was bad, the lighting was worse. There were parts of it that looked pretty good, most of it looked like shit. The acting was terrible, the story was crap. I give this movie like a 1 out of 5, and the only reason it's getting a 1 instead of a 0.5 is because it was made here in Michigan. Alright, then I saw Me and Orson Wells, starring that guy from High School Musical, who was actually pretty darn good in this movie. This movie had some great acting all around. However, the timing, the pacing of this movie was dreadfully slow. It seemed to lag on for hours and hours and hours, and then I would look and be like, oh, it's only been about 45 minutes so far. Awesome. I give this movie a 2 out of 5 for the horrendous pacing of this movie. Then I saw Prince of Persia, The Sands of Time. Uwe Boll, you need to take some notes on this movie, because this is how you make a movie based on a video game. This movie was sweet. The acting was pretty good. It had a pretty hot chick in it. Great story. Great use of special effects. Fantastic fighting scenes. I give Prince of Persia, The Sands of Time a 3.5 out of 5. After.Life, starring Christina Ricci, gets also a 3.5 out of 5. It was a damn cool movie with fantastic acting and lots of Christina Ricci's breasts, and you can't go wrong with that. Fraternity House was a movie also made here in Michigan. It was produced by a friend of mine. It starred a bunch of friends of mine. It was actually pretty decent looking for as low of a budget as it was, and it had a storyline that kept me interested from beginning to end. Sadly, the acting was pathetic. I give this movie a 2.5 out of 5. And finally, the other night, I just saw the Broadway Melody, which was the 1929 Best Picture winner. This movie had some pretty good acting, some okay singing. There were parts of where the singing was horrendous. Which is really sad because it was a musical. The editing was also pretty damn terrible. Now, I know back in the days they used to have lots of just long shots that they would stay with a single shot during a scene because it was easier on the editor. But there were parts in this where it was like a reaction shot that should have lasted like a second, and it was on the screen for about 10 seconds. And that type of thing just slowed the pacing down a lot. So I give the Broadway Melody of 1929 a 2.5 out of 5. That's this week's stack. I'll see you next week.